to ask about questions anyone has about the program so far. I have gotten emails from people, but it's been like here and there. And so I wanted to make sure before we get started talking about applications that everyone has their questions answered and is ready to go. So does anyone have any questions for me?
I guess my big lingering question, and I'm a little upset that I haven't thought to ask it yet. Typically for graduate programs, there's the issue of the GRE exam, and I think that's my question. Like, where does that fall into the Selfies project of it all?
We will not require a GRE from you.
Okay.
Yeah, the GRE is really only good at predicting the first semester of performance in a graduate program anyway, so it's not very useful. So it will not be required for this. But that's a good question.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Ms. Vela? That's good. That was a good question. I had to take mine when I applied for the graduate program, but this will not be required for this. I did want to announce, though, as a bit of happy news, I'm sure you might have seen it in our emails, but we are now able to offer the full master's degree instead of just the graduate certificate. So if you would like to pursue the master's degree, we'll be covering that.
Okay.
So we were very excited about that. That's a huge opportunity. I love our master's program. It's just you can learn so much. You can learn so much. All right. Any other questions? I'm sorry, I got really excited when I talk about that.
All the courses are going to be at the main UTSA campus, correct?
No. So that's a good question. So the courses will be dependent upon which course and which professor.
Okay.
So let me lay it out for you in terms of the Selfies project. So for the first summer semester, which is the mid-June to mid-July, that will be the linguistics course, and that will be held in a hybrid format, sometimes online, sometimes in person. And I believe Dr. Lindahl said that was going to be, if it will be in person, it will be at the downtown campus.
Awesome. Okay.
And that's going to be over the summer. And then there will be, I think she said that normally it's expected to be Mondays and Wednesdays will be in person and Fridays will be online asynchronous.
Okay.
And then the SLA course, the second language acquisition course, which will be mid-July to mid-August, that she said would be an asynchronous course. So there should not be any in-person days for that, or just very few.
Okay.
So you'll be online that whole time.
Okay.
And then
thank you.
As for the two that you'll take during fall and spring, those will depend upon which professors are teaching them, what the availability is, and where you'll be. Generally, we try to keep fall semester at the downtown campus and spring semester at the main campus, but it can really just vary. It just really depends on who is teaching, what the classroom availability is, things like that. But that will not be a Selfies only cohort. That will be you with also our mainstream students.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
No, that's great. It's wonderful. And those are one night a week.
Okay.
So even if you have to end up going, it'll just be one night a week.
Okay.
That's a wonderful question. I love that.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
I understand the program is free. However, do we still qualify for financial aid and or any scholarships that we might apply for?
I think it's going to depend on what scholarships and financial aid you apply for. Okay. I don't know all the details on what financial aid counts for what and what scholarships count for what, but I also don't know what you would need it for.
Right.
We're covering.
Does it include the textbooks and all that as well?
We pay for your textbooks.
Okay.
We pay for your fees. We pay for parking at the main campus.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, we cover everything.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
We also cover your exam. So when you take your certification exam, we cover that. But that's a great question. If you did need a scholarship for something like maybe a laptop, you'd have to look at what the scholarships are available to you and what financial aid is available to you. But we actually have our co-ed computer lab will loan out computers and iPads to you for a whole semester if you need them. So you have options there. And because you're graduate students, you have your choice of a PC or a Mac. As far as I understand, that's what I was told during the interview. All right, any other questions? I love these. They're very well thought out and like things that I didn't think to mention. All right, well, things will probably come up, and if they do, that's fine. Miss Lanford, I don't know if you got your microphone working. Yeah, I don't hear you, but that's okay. If you have something, if you have a question, just put it in the chat and I'll make sure that I'm monitoring it, okay? Sounds good. So let's go ahead and talk about applying for UTSA. Has anyone here already started their application? Great.
I started a portion and then I got lost.
That's okay. That's great because it means I can start at the beginning. And we're going to start right here at the very beginning. So let me share my Google Chrome. Can everyone see this Google Chrome? Great, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and search UTSA graduate application. And like the first thing you'll get is graduate admissions. And I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds in case you're also doing this on your computers, which is fine. If you want to follow along, I'm very happy for that. And on this website, it'll look like this. And then you have your links over on the right-hand side. These are your important links, particularly the 2021-2022 graduate application, which will cover summer of 2023. So that's the really important link right there. And I'm going to go ahead and click that, and it'll open up a new tab, and it takes you to the UTSA graduate admissions application, where you do have to create an account. So when you create an account, you'll just need to put your first name, your last name. If you want to put this extra stuff, you can. An email address, your confirmed email address, and a phone number. And then if you want to let them text, that's great. You will need to make a username and a password. That's pretty normal stuff for making an online account. I do highly recommend that you use an email address you're going to look at regularly. So for example, if you tends to see things, this thing can tend to get into your junk mail when you're using your school email, then maybe use a personal email. Or if you're like my school email is the one that I check the most, use your school email. That's fine too. And then once that, you just agree to terms and create an account. Now I've already done this, so I'm not going to create a new account. But if you need to, if you need to wait a second, go ahead and click a reaction in the chat. And otherwise, I will move on. All right, great. Looks like everyone's all set on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in with mine. Nobody copy. A very creative username. All right, so when you log in, this is the first screen you're gonna see is about your applications. And on the left side, you'll see like notifications. If something changes on your application, you should get a notification right over here. And this is a condensed application, so you can actually apply to multiple programs at the same time. Not that that's going to be important for you, but if you go for your doctoral program or something, that'll be on you. This could be very helpful. So I want to make sure that I have all of my requirements listed because this is giving general stuff that I'm going to need, like my personal information, my academic history, and my supporting information. But I want to know it's specific to me. And so what I'll do here is I'll go to this Add Program tab. And you'll see there's a bunch of programs. It has all of the graduate programs. I don't need all those. So for me, you can search, but for me, I find it's very easy just to filter. So I can go to department, click on Bicultural Bilingual Studies, which will cover ESL and bilingual. And then I'm going to go down to program level, and I want to pick the master's. And just like that, I have the only two things that you guys are going to have to worry about: the bilingual education master's degree and the ESL master's degree. I did talk with Dr. Yazan about this, and there was some confusion about whether you'd apply for the graduate certificate program or the master's program, and it's preferred that you apply for the master's, even if you're only seeking the certification. That's fine. Just apply for the master's because it's a little easier to work with than trying to move you up into a master's program later. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the ESL because that's my program. That's what I did. And you'll see when I press the plus, it changed to a little check mark. That means that that's now added to my list of applications. And if there's ever any question about what's there, you can click on View Selected Programs, and you'll see what you're applying to. And there can be multiple. But for you, just pick the one. Pick up the one you're going to do. So if you're bilingual, it will be bilingual bicultural education. If you're doing ESL, it will be the teaching English as a second language. Was there a question so far?
I just want to ask, will this recording be available later?
Yes, I'm hoping to make this recording available.
Okay, thank you.
I might have to upload it to the Ate YouTube, but we'll figure it out. Any other questions? All right, good. Everyone's doing good so far. If you do think of something and you do need it, shout it out or post something in the chat. Let's go back to my application, and you'll see now my application has changed a little bit, and they've added program materials over here. And that's how I know, like, okay, I definitely picked something. So let's just go to personal information, and they have all these little things that I have to fill out, and that's pretty normal, right? So you have to put in your name, Austin Bonecutter-Knight. Okay. Do you have a name that you commonly use that differs from your legal name? I don't. That's my legal name. But if you do, that's fine. If you have an alternate name that's like spelled something different. So for example, many of you may have gotten your bachelor's degrees before you were married. I did. And so I'll need to click yes. And so I'll need to change my last name to just Bonecutter.
I know this is a silly question, but what if you got divorced?
That's fine too. If you change your name, you can list it right under there. That way there's no confusion when they get your official transcripts and they're like, this isn't the same last name. So yeah, if you have alternate names, even a first name or a middle name, it's just good for them to know to help with the housekeeping.
Okay.
That's a great question. What is your sex? I'm male. That's my sex. My gender, I'm just gonna put a little tilde. Pronouns, just go with he, him. I don't really care, but that's fine. And then birth information. I guess I have to put something, don't I? This isn't my birthday. I'm just putting edit. Whoops, I'm not 0 years old.
You don't look a day over 21.
I don't believe you, but that's great. Let's say that I was born in 1991. We'll say February 1st. Great. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I was not born then, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not really applying. You'll need to pick your country, your city. I was born in Topeka. I wasn't, but and for some reason I was born in Topeka, Connecticut. I have to pick a county, whatever. And I don't have everything I required, do I? I don't have an alternate first name, but let's just put that there. Okay, save and continue. Oh, wow, it was saved. Wonderful, amazing, check marks. Come to the next section. And so you'll continue with your current addresses. If this is not your permanent address for your current address, you need to put a different current address. Like, for example, my permanent address could be different from my current address. Like if I'm living in someone else's house for a few months while they're away, that could happen. And so that's really important to list. I don't have that problem, but it's great. Don't make me do everything. I'll just go here. Family information. If you would like to add your family, you can. I don't think it's required. So I'm just going to say, no, I'm not adding those because that's not necessary for my application. This is really important. This question is really important. Are you a resident of Texas? I know that seems not important, but it is, because you want to determine that you're getting in-state tuition. Did you attend a public the first 12 months prior? I'm sorry, this isn't the question then. This is the residency question for did you attend a public university within the past 12 months? I did not, but I am a resident of Texas, and that's really important. Did you graduate high school? Yes. I went to Clark. And then, did you live in Texas 36 months? I have. And will you begin this semester live in Texas pretty soon? Yeah. That really is important for helping the registrar. I know that's so strange, but it's important for helping the registrar determine that you are going to receive in-state tuition. And you have to say, yep, I sure am a resident of Texas. Thanks, everybody. Race and ethnicity. It's race and ethnicity. It's the same stuff. And then if there is any other information, like you'll want to put your social security number. If you're a veteran or a spouse of a veteran, very good stuff to know, because you may be entitled to other help and things like that. And this is very important academic infraction, because it will be on your transcripts. So don't lie about it. If it happened, be honest about it, because it may not guarantee that you're not going to get accepted. But if you lie about it, they're going to find out. Foster care, funding information, things like that. You will be a... you won't have to click any of this, because you are... The word you will see. You don't have to click any of these, because you are already in our program. And then, do you plan to enroll? Yes, I intend to enroll, and you will be part-time. It's very important to recognize that you will be a part-time student. You can go full-time once you are in the second part of the master's program, but that will be up to you, and that will be something you'll have to decide. And that's it. Like, that's everything for this whole section that I've shown you. Let's go back to my application, academic history, what colleges you attended, standardized tests. These are all pretty standard, so you'll have to add a college. Texas. Okay, so it wants to be UTSA. San Antonio. Yay! And it's pretty simple. I got a degree. Here's the type of degree. You can find that. I don't know if you guys list this kind of information on your resumes, but that's usually where I look to find out. Remember, like, when did I graduate again? Because I don't remember. If you were a double major, you'll have to add another major. If you got more than one degree, add another degree. If you were in Texas, you probably used a semester term, but I don't know. Some people go to strange places. No. Standardized tests, you don't have to add anything, because you don't have to worry about that stuff. So I'm not adding any of these. GPA entries, and that will be that's something you cannot fill out until you have your colleges. And then UTS ID, if you already have a UTSA ID, please put it in. It'll be your ABC 123. Does anyone have a UTSA ID already? Okay, great. Just make sure that you put that in there. And if it doesn't, just put NA. And then lastly, you got supporting information. You do have to fill out this acknowledgement saying that, yeah, you know how this works and what this is, or what it looks like and all that fun stuff. And then there's just one little thing left, and that's program materials. But all of this is optional. You don't have to do anything with this. This is just information for you to know. So if you wanted to put a CV or a statement of purpose or a test score, you could. If you wanted to put recommendations, you could, but those are not required for our program. A lot of this was taken care of in your interviews. All right. So are there any questions so far? I know some people came in a little bit later. And so they may not have been able to see the full thing that I was talking about.
Austin, do you know where you can see what program you added? Because I'm looking for the one that you were showing us and I can't see it. So I don't know if I had clicked that already.
Let's go ahead. Yeah. So I can show you where to find that. So let's go to my application. Let's go to add program right over here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a button for find program and then also view selected programs.
Okay.
If you click on that, it'll show you what you've selected.
Okay.
If you haven't picked anything, that's okay. You just can add a new one.
So I can't find the summer. I find it, but I don't have the summer option.
Is it? Oh, okay. Hang on. Did you click on 2021, 2022 graduate application?
How do I see that?
So back here on the UTSA graduate admissions page, there are two orange buttons.
Huh.
One of them is for next year. One of them is for this summer. And so you'll want to do the 2021, 2022.
Because I did it in December, so I have no idea.
That's okay. Go ahead and click this, the 2021, 2022, and you'll sign into your account just like normal.
Okay.
And you should be able to find the summer 2023 program listed there. If not, let me get back to you because I want to answer some questions in chat.
Sure.
So Ms. Lanford asks, will I need my transcripts today? You should upload an unofficial transcript if you can, because that makes getting the application processed easier. And you can just put that in the program materials under documents. I don't know where you would upload it. Maybe test score report. Dr. Lindahl has expressed an interest in having one of those. So you might just email it to the Selfies directly, but that's an unofficial transcript, which is just like a screenshot of your unofficial transcripts. You will, however, for admission into the university, you will need to send an official transcript from your university, which will need to be the most recent university, and it may have to be all of your awards granting universities. So be prepared to request those. Yes.
Yes, I was going to ask about that. So I have 2 undergrads and a master's in history. I have to get all of those, right? The 2 undergrads and then a master.
You may have to. I would recommend just having them send them to UTSA just in case.
Okay.
And nowadays, it's not hard because you don't have to get an envelope or anything. They just electronically send it to the university you're asking it to go to.
Okay, so thank you.
It's real simple.
I have a question.
Absolutely.
I have I don't have my unofficial transcript, so I will get that for my bachelor's and my master's, but I do have some higher education courses with Lamar University. I never finished the principal or the principalship one, but I do have credits. Do I need to put those on there as well?
That's a good question.
Because I never actually finished it, but I do have college hours.
What my recommendation would be is send an unofficial transcript of those hours to the Selfies email with an explanation stating that this was not a degree granting university and see what they say in response to that.
Okay.
Because that may be something that you need to do, but it also might not be. So let's see. What if I've started my master's degree with a different program but didn't complete? Does that affect my eligibility? I don't believe so. I don't believe it should, because you are part of our special program. Let's see. What I need to send the one for you to sell.
A comment on the.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Just on the unofficial transcript, I did see a section where you could add the unofficial transcript under colleges attended.
Oh, okay. That's where it would be then.
So I know we were wondering where that could have.
It may, yeah. I wonder if it is here. Let's see. Let me just see if I can type. I promise. Yes. We'll say that I got a chemical engineering degree in October of 2020. I was a allied health major, and my minor was in anesthesia tech. Great. Awesome. Cool. I don't need another degree. This was a semester. Yes.
Okay. Question real quick. I'm sorry. Under other information where it says funding information, if you wish to be considered for a teaching assistantship, do we have to fill anything of that in there?
No, you should not need to fill anything in for that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. So once you've added a university, you can upload an unofficial transcript. And so that's where you'll upload that. Thank you so much, Mr. Estrada. You see, would I need to send the one for UTSA as well as my BA, or do you have access to that already? I don't know. When I applied, I still sent them an official copy. Just because like some people don't always have access to all the records. So I still requested an official copy be sent, even though it was being sent to the exact same place. So I went on the side of caution, just because if you have all your documents in order, it goes much, much faster, and you don't want to be stuck going back and forth trying to figure out what's missing. If I didn't complete the degree, do I have to get an official copy of the transcript? I don't know. I would recommend that you reach out to the SELFIES email with an unofficial transcript of that and ask them and see what they say. Because I don't do a lot of admissions work, but I know that some people who are involved in that email do. And so they may be able to be better prepared to answer your question about that. But that's a good question. Any other questions? Okay, let's see. Look, if you are accepted into a program, you must officially all institutions attended to UTSA. So it looks like you're going to need an official transcript from everywhere you attended. At least that's what it's saying here. Even if you didn't finish the program. All right. Are there any other questions? Does everyone know how to get into this system? Anyone not know how to get into the system?
Sorry, I just have a different question because I kind of missed the program I'm supposed to at the very beginning.
I had that same question because there was two programs that you were looking at. There was
yes.
Which one is to choose?
So let me go through the process again, just so everyone's fully aware of it. So we're going to go to add program and find program so I can find it. And I'm just going to use filters to select Department of Bilingual Bicultural Studies. And I'm going to select the program level of master's. And that automatically picks the only two that you can use. So if you are bilingual, if you're going for the bilingual sort of certificate, you should choose the Bicultural Bilingual Education Master of Arts Summer 2023. If you are seeking ESL, you will choose the Teaching English as a Second Language Master of Arts Summer 2023. Does that make sense? Okay, great.
Yes, it's our choice.
The way you add it will just be clicking the little plus, and that will put a little check mark next to it. And then if you don't want to pick it, you can just press the X and remove it.
For clarification, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, for clarification, does one encompass the other?
No, well, that depends on what you mean. For those of you who maybe don't know, ESL is instruction for teaching speakers of another language in the medium of English. And it is generally a more diverse group. So sometimes you may have people who all have the same first language. Sometimes you may have people from very different first languages, but everyone's still studying English together. Bilingual certification in Texas covers Spanish and English instruction. And you will be expected to deliver, if you're in a bilingual classroom, you'll be expected to deliver some of your content in English, some of your content in Spanish. If you are certified in Texas to teach bilingual, you also are certified to teach ESL because the principles are roughly the same. It just requires also the skill set of good Spanish skills.
So question, which would be better to choose? If we are doing, say, like dual language at our district?
So if you are going to be teaching in English, ESL is fine. You could also choose bilingual. However, bilingual requires what's called the BTLPT, which is a Spanish language proficiency test that requires you to know Spanish and English in academic and everyday contexts. And it does require like writing and reading and speaking and listening. And it's pretty rigorous. It's not overly rigorous, but it's in Castilian Spanish, which is a little bit different than Tejano Spanish.
Right.
But if you feel confident in your Spanish and you feel that you can pass that test, and then also the bilingual supplementary exam, which I believe also contains Spanish language, then I would say if you're confident in your ability to pass those, bilingual gets you the ESL certificate and then more.
Okay. Makes sense. And then with that, we're able to say teach other classes of other languages or English.
You are not a language instructor at that point.
Right. But like say you have kids from Afghanistan and Japan, you can still have that ESL background, right?
Yes, because the principles of ESL are the same as they are in bilingual. Bilingual also requires you to have good second language skills, whereas ESL, the medium of instruction is purely English.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, like I have ESL, and I taught Korean students from Mexico. I taught students from Burma and Afghanistan, Iran, lots of different types of places. But they were all in the same classroom.
Right.
So I was just using English and helping structure it in a way where they would be able to learn English as well. Bilingual teachers structure their instruction to help their students learn both English and Spanish at the same time. So for instance, if you are doing a lesson in bilingual on parts of speech, your students are going to have to learn pronoun and pronombre. They're going to have to learn verb and verbo. They're going to have to learn the words for all of those things and also the concepts and all of those things in both languages. It's a good question, though. It's important for what you're thinking about. Any other questions? These are great.
I'm sorry, Austin, but again, the program that I'm getting into is called Bicultural Bilingual Education Master of Arts, summer 2023, correct?
If you're doing bilingual education, yes.
Bilingual, yes. Okay, thank you.
I think I've selected ESL. Yeah. And so just gonna I'll add that too. That way I can just easily show you. These are the two options. So on the topic of unofficial transcripts, in case you guys don't know, some of your institutions may have the ability for you to download a copy of unofficial transcripts. Some of you may not. When I was going to UTSA, I did not have that option. So I just had to take a screenshot of the browser and save those screenshots and upload them as my unofficial transcript. And that worked. That was fine.
One more question. Is there an application fee that we have to?
No, there should not be an application fee.
Okay.
Why is there saying that there's an application fee? One second. Okay, it's saying that I have an application fee, but your application fee is supposed to be waived. I may have to check in with Dr. Lindahl to see what's going on with that. It may be that we have to send you a code for you to enter to have your fee waived, but you should not have to pay an application fee. So if you get through all your application and you're ready to submit, maybe just hold off and wait until I can clarify with Dr. Lindahl. And then once I have those codes, or once I have the understanding of what's going to happen, I'll send an email out to everyone letting them know this is how you're going to get your code, or this is how you're going to do this.
Question, Austin.
Sure thing.
On the topic of the official transcripts, when we get to that, because I'm already looking at my trying to order one. My college is asking for a delivery email address or address.
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to Google that. Let's see. I'll bet they have an address that I can send it to. Program materials. It's the acknowledgement. I don't need that. Academic history. Just upload unofficial. So you can add GPA. That's not really what I want. Okay, so don't list it there. Let's see what Google says. Let's see how I can sound.
While you are looking for that, as I'm doing my application, it's asking me to select applicant type. Am I a graduate, degree seeking, or special graduate?
You'll be degree seeking.
Okay, thank you.
As far as I know, that's all I've heard is that you'll be degree seeking. What email can they send this to? I don't want them to send it to One Stop. That would be a nightmare. Okay, students can send official e-transcripts to apply@utsa.edu. Great, that makes things very easy. Any other questions? I think everyone's working on their applications right now, which I think is great. So for those of you who might have joined a little bit after I started, I want you to know when you go to this graduate admissions page, they do have a link for a 2021, 2022 and a link for 2022, 2023. You want to use the 2021, 2022 graduate application spring summer 2023 link. That is the link that will take you to the applications that will count for this summer. If you go to the other one, you're going to be applying for next summer, and that's no good. So definitely make sure you're using this one here, 2021, 2022, for the spring summer of 2023. All right, it seems like everyone's working and there are no more pressing questions. So I'm going to go ahead and end the recording. So anyone who's watching in the future, hello from the past. And I hope that if you that you got everything done, and if you didn't get everything done, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at selfies@utsa.edu. That way we can answer your questions. I'm going to end the recording and continue helping people who are in our Zoom.
I have one more question. By when does this application need to be completed?
That's a great question. And it is right here. This application is due May 31st, 2023. And that is a soft deadline, but please have it done before then, because it really gets stressful if you're past that deadline, you're still trying to get all your documentation in. So definitely aim to have all your documentation in before that deadline. That means your application is already submitted. You've already put in your official transcript requests. You put in your unofficial transcripts. You've given your GPA. And that way, if there are any questions or if UTSA requests any documents, you have more time to get that done. Because the faster you get through this application process, the faster we can process your application to our program, which means that you'll get your scholarship much faster, and we won't get into possibly having your classes dropped or things like that. So it's very, very important. Which reminds me, has everyone here completed their confirmation, their program confirmation?
It said if we were accepted, so am I assuming we were all accepted?
So if you were accepted, that's good. But there is a separate confirmation. Let me pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about. So,
I submitted the confirmation.
Yes, I think I have a couple copies of yours actually, which is fine. Just make sure that you have it in. Let me pull up talking about here. Confirmation completed. Wonderful. So if you've seen this before, that's what I'm talking about, the Project Selfies Program Acceptance Confirmation. It's very quick. It's just you need to accept these above, is read these so you understand what we're confirming, accept, full name, and sign below. And once we have that, that's our confirmation that you intend to move forward with Project Selfies, and that yes, you are accepted and you intend to go through, because your spot is not going to be considered saved until we have this, because we are recruiting some more teachers still. We actually just added another ISD that'll be joining our cohort, and we want to get students in from there. And if we don't have enough students confirmed, we're going to give them their spots. So please, please, please make sure that you've completed this program acceptance confirmation. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat just in case you didn't find it in your emails.
So Austin, that kind of takes me to a personal question that like I'm fully intending on being a part of the Selfies program, but I'm not I can't predict the future.
Well, yes.
And so what if an opportunity comes up for me and I can, be an instructional coach? Would I still be able to be in the program so that I can learn and help other teachers?
My understanding is that, don't take this as a guarantee, but my understanding is that if that were to occur, first of all, you were already admitted to the program as a teacher, and you would be able to provide your expertise to more teachers that way. Mm-hmm. And so it may not necessarily disqualify you from the program.
Okay. But I there's no way of knowing if
that comes up, and yeah.
It's just there's rumors and I'm like, maybe. And then what if I don't even get it? And then I'm just going to still, continue what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but if something like that does come up, definitely keep in contact with us.
Right. Okay.
Because that's what we want to know. And we have students who have had to leave the program because of other things, and we still invite them to come back.
Right.
So if you only complete a semester, we still want you back. Now, obviously, we want you to do everything in the same year, because that means your test taking is going to be better prepared for you. But we're going to work with you and be as flexible as we can be.
Okay.
Just stay in communication. Always. I know some people are like, they're professors, they're doctors, they're busy. No. This is co-ed. You are welcome to email them. They are happy to hear from you, and they are going to work with you however they can.
Okay. So that's why I'm like, I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing, because, I don't know what's happening, and I don't want to miss out on something that I wanted to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a good question. So I'm going to stop the recording, and there goes.